Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. Yes, indeed, a brand new day filled with hope and promise and violence and terror. Welcome to life in our universe. Yay! It's actually a little darker than it has been outside. I mean, was it June 22nd was the longest day of the year, and now we're sliding down into getting, darker earlier and brighter later. So it's a little dimmer outside. It was half the day yesterday was gray, and then the other half of the day was like pounding heat from the sun and brilliant light. So that was painful. And it looks like it's going to be another day like that. It's more diffuse light outside, so it's going to be kind of a slower morning. I mean, I had my box fan going this morning and stuff like that, so it's still kind of warm, but it's not hot like it will be later. And of course, that's the first part, the weather report. Now for the plague rat and spider report for Shelton, Washington. Plague rat report, there was actually a big thing on one of the semi-local news stations about how Shelton, Washington is actually taking things even further with the masking mandate and trying to be safe. And they had a big thing about how there was Neyland Park, which is in southern downtown Shelton. And I live in southern Shelton, so it's like I just have to come out of southern Shelton, and then I've shown the park in my videos. And when this all first started, the whole thing was closed off with tape. And then, of course, as it got worse, they just took all the tape down and let everybody go in there and start congregating. And they made a big report, again, big, on the semi-local news stations about how now we're taking it further. And on Monday, people came down to Neyland Park to find it all, taped off for caution. And no, it's not. There's the entirety of Neyland Park, and then there's a little tiny spot right here, which is like a child's toy play castle. And it's got monkey bars and things you can climb on, and it's a castle. It's made out of wood, and it's really nice. This has been closed off by tape. This is still open with a basketball court, with a large place for people to gather, for park benches, and there's no social distancing there. Everyone's running around there with no masks. So, yeah, it's talked up about how we're taking it tough here, but no. People still just go into stores with no masks. Luckily, we haven't had to deal with, as far as I know, any of these lunatics like in other places where people just freak out and throw stuff on the floor or pitch stuff out of their carts or similar. It's like, good Lord, when you start destroying stuff off the thing, a store is not public property. It is private property. A corporation owns it. It is owned. It is private. They are allowing you to come onto that area and then buy things from them. You don't have a right to go into a store. The store can bar you. It is not a public place. So when people are acting that entitled, I don't understand that. But still, while they're not taking it seriously here, yeah, we're at least trying, I imagine. So here's hoping. Thumbs up. And then, of course, spider report. Like I said, there's spiders in the room. I mean, and down there, in the corner of Gojira's hamster cage, or bin cage, or bin home, right down there, below where I have to snake my hand through so I can turn on and off my little light that's on the floor. There is a spider there. That's one spider. And I occasionally check on it, sometimes in unpleasant ways. I mean, for it, because I reached down there because it looked like it was dead just the other day. And I started pulling at its web just to see. And it undid its legs and started checking stuff out. And I was like, okay, good, it's alive. So, definitely a thumbs up. I mean, to live, it has to kill. So it has to kill other bugs. And that's sad on that level, but you gotta live, and that means other things have to die. Yay. A life in a physical universe. Which comes to this one. I was quickly just going through my comments this morning, and Kathy Kitscat was talking about having some figs. And I like figs. Figs taste nice, but they're also kind of gross. And that's why you gotta... I'll talk about that, because it's gross and not gross. And back to gross again. Because one of the ways that the fig gets pollinated is there's a fig wasp, and the fig wasp will crawl into the fig, and that's also the female wasp, and it lays eggs. But when it climbs into the fig like that, crawling in there tears its wings off, so it gets trapped inside of the fig, and then it dies, and then there's a dead wasp inside of the fig. How many dead wasps inside of each fig? Both a few and none at all. Because they can't open up the figs and take the wasps out. They'd have to go through each fig. But the thing is, even at that, they wouldn't be able to take the wasps out. Because after the wasp dies and is just a wasp carcass inside of the fig fruit digests the wasp. So the tree eats the bug, just digests it right in the fruit, takes the nutrients, and lives on them. So you open up one of those things after some fig wasps go into there, and there's no fig wasps. So that's gross, not gross, and back to gross again. Thumbs up for that. Oh, as a quick aside, I'm going to start doing questions. If you have any question at all, please pop it down into the comments. I'm going to be having my community tab. I'm going to be doing things there, Twitter and Facebook. Somebody on Facebook that I've talked with quite a bit, Jamie Rivers, said, why don't you answer questions? Do a questions thing. And the thing is, I've tried. I've said, hey, ask me anything on Twitter, and gotten 0 replies. Said, hey, ask me anything on Facebook, gotten 0 questions. I've said in videos, ask me questions. Nobody asks questions in comments. So I'm trying again. Please, I want to try doing a answering user comments thing. So if you have any questions, please pop them down in the comments. I'm going to do the same on Twitter, Facebook, and on the community tab. So here's hoping I get some. But Jamie Rivers did ask, how did I get my username of Nearly Senior Citizen? Well, it's just to try and answer that one real quick. I don't... Excuse me. Oh, I drank carbonated beverages, and that gas has been sitting in my tummy this whole time. Oh, good for it to come out, but sorry it came out right now. I was like, what, 52 when I decided to make up the channel to save my life, and I couldn't think up a username, and just with my age, I wasn't a senior citizen. I'm still not, got a few years, so I was nearly a senior citizen. I couldn't think of anything else for the name, because what am I going to come up with? A science fiction name? A fantasy name? Just something else that doesn't make any sense? That no one would get, but may have an emotional context for me, but for nobody else? I mean, I got names like there's Johnny Nug Nug. I like that name, and I've used that in the past, but I didn't really want to have that for the thing. So I just wanted to have a more descriptive thing, and Nearly Senior Citizen works. When I turn 60, my username is going to become Finally Senior Citizen. And if I'm still alive and around when I turn 65, my username will become Overly Senior Citizen. So I have a plan for it. We'll just have to see how that works out. So again, if you have any questions at all, so I can start answering questions that way, please pop them into the comments, or I'm going to be doing this on Twitter and Facebook and such like that. So, thumbs up. I mean, that's not the best answer I could have given, but I just remembered that this happened, so I wanted to try and give a quick overview. So, thumbs up for that. Let us see. Oh, and of course, I'm going to talk about this one because it is sad, and there's just so much happening in my life that I forget about stuff, so I have to write them down. Little Saber finally passed yesterday. She'd been alive the day before, and she'd been alive yesterday morning, but when I checked on her in the afternoon, she was gone. So her suffering is over. She crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And that is sad. I am down to 3 hamsters. I hadn't played with her much because she just... I mean, I did, but once I realized that she was starting to hurt, I just let her be until she finally went. And if I'd had money and ability, I would have taken her to the vet. I probably would have had her put to sleep. But... she's not hurting anymore. So now I just have little Dr. Snurf, who's actually doing very, very well. You know, aside from his hair loss, and he just keeps drinking massively. So yeah, he's got to be diabetic. So who knows how long he'll go. Gojira is still with me. And while she was active this morning, I don't like waking them up if I can avoid it. And by the time I hit 7 o'clock, she's asleep herself. So if she happens to be awake again, you know, when I'm recording, I will pick her up and show her off. But the only one that's really active about this time, to the point that I can really show him off, is Dust Mop. And even right now, he's running in his wheel. And every time I turn my head over there closer to his cage, and I'll just say like, hey little guy, oh, Amelia wants out, so I'm going to have to let her out. You are a beast, cat. She has no care. But all I have to do is poke my head closer to the opening on his home and say, hey little guy, and he instantly stops running and runs over to the top of his house. In fact, he was doing that right now, and he heard me moving around out here, and he came up to the top of that little wooden house and was looking. So whenever he hears my voice, he just dashes over and goes like, hey, what's going on? And that's really, really cool. Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, let us see what else we have, because it's just trying to wake up. And I also want to talk about interesting things because I like to teach. I am pedantic, and I like to talk about things. I mentioned before, I'm in love with the sound of my own voice. So hopefully, like one of the things that is interesting is this whole flat earth thing, and I think it's interesting only in that people are trying to twist themselves into knots trying to make this stuff make sense when it can't. The earth is not flat. We are on a globe. All math is not, the universe seems to run on math, but the math, that's only because we designed math to describe the universe. So the universe and math are going to seem to fit because we constantly redefine our math to make it fit the universe. And math is really good because we can make predictions with our math to describe the physical universe and go tens, hundreds of years into the future, and we'll be spot on. So the math works. It's a globe. The problem with flat Earth, of course, is they frequently say because a flat Earth gravity wouldn't work, that gravity is fake. It's all just relative density. And so light is lighter density up there and it's thicker density down here, so lower density things float. You need gravity to make density work. So that doesn't explain, gravity, relative density. Because if there is no gravity, it doesn't matter how dense or not dense something is, it's not going to fall. You could have a helium-filled balloon down here and a lead ball up here, and it's not going to trade places. You've got either gravity, or, as I've mentioned before, because time travels slower, the closer you get to mass, even if there is no gravity per se, because your feet travel slower than the top of your head, your velocity vector through time, not gravity, but it slowly travels down like this. So you are pulled down toward mass by the force of the acceleration of you traveling through time. No gravity, simply the fact that mass travels slower near greater concentrations of mass. Isn't that weird? Thumbs up. Anyway, though, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. Good, bad, and different. You took the time. You expended the calories. Thank you very much. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. And of course, even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, and more, I'm lucky I can remember anything at all sometimes. So let me call it my Chrome. And we have Francesca. Thank you very, very much. Z Chaos. Greatly appreciated. And then there's Gucci with the comment of, "You're dumb." Yeah, spelled U-R. So, yeah. Pugs Music. Greatly appreciated. Chris, I am player. Thumbs up and thank you. Yezo, thank you very much. And Kathy Kiss Cat, greatly appreciated. Confused Owl 29. Well, she's not hurting anymore, and that's good. FRGST, I do not know how to pronounce that other than Vergerst. So, thank you very much. And Eliana Guerrero, thank you very, very much. And Dominica Federloa, I'm nowhere close, but thank you very much. Aaron S., greatly appreciated. Henry Giovanetta, good to see you in the comments. And then we have IGXMMX, thumbs up and thank you. Russian Timing, always good to see you in the comments. Arash Kavari, I'm nowhere close, thank you very, very much. And Philippe, thank you very much, sort of. 999 FPS, wouldn't that be nice? And greatly appreciated. Colin Reisner, thumbs up and thank you. Jenna, thumbs up and thank you. Christopher Thomas, greatly appreciated. And ASAP Frostbite, thumbs up and thank you. Then we have Yogeshwaran. I'm nowhere even close with the pronunciation, but thank you very, very much. And Lucifer, oh boy, I know. Take care and thank you much. And then last but not least, Christopher Kendrick. Thank you all so very, very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. That is a good thing. Definitely, when you're depressed, you need to get out of the echo chamber of your own skull. You need other input from people. You need to be able to bounce your thoughts off others so that they can reality check you. It is a good thing. Greatly appreciated. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. Now, if you wanted to help me out, but you didn't want to send money to one of those two places, I have a PayPal link down below. If you could check that out, that would be very, very cool. And if you wanted to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list link as well, with things like cat food, hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very, very cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I got for my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. That would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you're down with it, I will do my best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Thumbs up for that. Well, today I actually do have to record a video and then edit and render it after this. So I'm going to be pretty busy today. Hopefully I can make a phone call that I have to make. Hopefully. It's not going to be the end of the world if I don't. So I need to make an appointment, though, with my primary care provider at the Veterans Administration. I just don't know how to get there. It's a round trip of 50 miles, and I don't have a vehicle anymore. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And practice safe care. Practice social distancing. Please wear a mask. Black Lives Matter. Damn straight they do. And justice for every single name. Oh my God, they keep adding to the list daily. Be careful. be safe. The cops are monsters. I will see you on the flip side, my friend.